What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's jump straight into the latest news shaking up the fight world. First, we have Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo talk about Usman's upcoming fight.
For some reason, I thought that fight with you and Sean Brady made a little bit more sense.
Of course it did, but Henry, that's the thing is, like me and Brady, he had messaged me, I think back in like February or something like that, and very respectful, which I really like. He's one of the guys who were in the division that I kind of like, and so he said, "Hey, I would love the opportunity to fight you," and I said, "Man, I would love to run that fight as well." But I think he asked, he said, if you were down to fight in Miami. I told him Miami might be a little too early for me. I'm in the process of just rehabilitating my body and getting back, so might need a little bit more time, but I would love to run that fight. And yeah, he got the Leon fight. He looked good. He was able to go in there and get the job done. And then all of a sudden now it's like, yeah, I don't need to fight you anymore. Or now, of course, you want to fight me. It is what it is. But it is what it is. June 14th. I'm ready to get back in there. I know everybody's been waiting. I know some people were patient. Some people were not patient, Henry. And because we see the comments. We see y'all comments under those posts.
You got to drop that Bilal interview, Kamaru.
The who?
Yeah.
Cory Sandhagen is practicing his trash talking with ChatGPT.
So I'm not really much of a trash talker, so I kind of need to use modern day technology in order to help me be prepared for, all of the trash talking that might go on this week. ChatGPT helps me write these. Figueiredo fights like a guy who knows his prime ended the night Moreno took his soul. Pretty mean, ChatGPT. He walks around like he's still champ, but every fight lately looks like a retirement audition. Didn't know you had to audition for retirement. His ego's still in the title picture, but his skills are stuck in the prelims. I didn't make this up. This ChatGPT saying all this mean stuff. But definitely going to have these ready. So, just in case I got to hit him with some one-liners. Who's smarter than the AI robots that are controlling our lives now?
Tom Aspinall's father, Andy Aspinall, isn't hiding his frustration anymore when it comes to the long wait for a Jon Jones fight. Speaking on Tom's YouTube channel, Andy said, "The whole process thus far has been a massive pain in the ass." Andy went on to slam the UFC's handling of the situation, adding, "It's stupid. I have no idea the reason why the UFC don't really want Tom fight anybody else other than Jon Jones." Stay tuned. That's the message they wanted Tom out to people, and we had a meeting with Hunter Campbell, and they're going to try to fix the fight with Jon Jones. But we're still in April now for this guy to say, "I'll have a fight or I'll not have a fight." And I don't really understand that. He's a fighter that should be having fights. Why is he still sitting around, not giving an answer as to whether he's going to fight or not? Andy also made it clear that Tom is stuck in a tough spot. What else can he do? He can fight lesser people than Jon Jones, lesser ranked people than Jon Jones, but that means he may miss the opportunity to fight Jon Jones, which is a massive opportunity because he's the champion and he's the best there's ever been. If Tom beats him, that's great. What other choice does he got to sit around? He could fight the number 8 ranked guy now, but why should number 1 fight number 8? It's a bit folly to me. He finished by pointing out that Tom needs to stay active, especially while he's healthy. It's just a massive pain in the ass, really. It would be really nice because he's a fighter to have a fight. He's had 3 fights that's lasted a minute apiece, the last 3 fights, and it is what it is. But we could do with more fights, and this is living, and you need to be making money from your living, especially when you're fit and healthy, rather than just sitting on and turning up for training all the time. Here is footage of Joaquin Buckley's interaction with Ian Garry's wife.
What up, y'all? Y'all know I had to pull up on Ian Garry at the weigh-ins for talking all that mess in this little interview. So I'll wait till he get done. I'm waiting patient. As soon as I pull up, boom, she bumped right into me. She gonna use the baby as a shield, pass him off to him. So I'm like, all right, I'll let you have that one. But as soon as I'm about to turn around, she comes over to me, caress my arm, and say, "I'm gonna see you later on tonight." Girl, what the fuck that mean? I'm trying to see him, not you.
In other news, Strickland found a new way to cause problems without even throwing a punch. A story just came out about how he may have accidentally made a fighter miss weight during a brutal cut. Listen to this.
Made him kick himself out of the sauna and missed weight. So
Dude, shit. It was the fucking. So I'm cutting weight with Sean.
Yeah.
In the sauna at the PI. And this kid, Steve Peterson, is basically cutting weight by himself. And he's in the sauna. And Sean's just making conversation, trying to make the time pass.
Right.
And Sean says to him, he's like, hey, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Steve Peterson. He's like, oh, who are you fighting? He's like, I'm fighting Julian Erosa. He's like, oh, you're fighting my teammate. He's like, oh, yeah, Julian. So, like, I have a video that, like, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But it was like, Sean just goes on, like, a 30 fucking question rant. Like, oh, so, where do you train? What do you do? Why do you do it? Blah, blah, blah. Why do you keep open the door? Why is this blah, 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 blah. And the dude's just like, dude, stop talking to me. So this poor guy keeps coming in and out of the sauna. He's like, fuck this.
Damn.
Fuck this. So I'm laughing. I'm like, bro, Sean, know your audience, bro. This
Yeah.
poor guy does not want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, obviously he's trying to cut weight. He's miserable. He's fucking hating life. But anyway, Sean makes weight. We're like, all right, we're out of here. We go home. And then the next day, I see the dude missed by 3 pounds. Missed weight by 3 pounds. So I was texting Sean. I was like, bro, this poor guy just could not take you any longer. It's like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
You gotta pay Sean off.
Yeah. So then he wins the fight and wins the fight of the night bonus. And I tell Julian after the fight, I was like, bro, you owe Sean 10% of that.
After a huge first-round TKO win over Anthony Smith this past weekend, Zhang Mingyang isn't wasting time calling his shot. Speaking to Full Send MMA, Zhang made it clear who he wants next. Next fight, I want Jiri Prochazka. I watched your fight in Singapore and you won your battle in that fight. I like your style. I respect your warrior spirit. Although you are not the champion anymore, I would like to fight you to test myself. A bold move, especially considering Jiri's status as one of the most unpredictable and dangerous fighters in the division. Carlos Prates may have lost to Ian Garry, but he earned respect from one of the biggest names in the sport. After the fight, Israel Adesanya posted to his Instagram story, calling the bout high-level chess and showing love for both fighters. It wasn't just a throwaway comment either. Izzy has a sharp eye for striking, so that kind of compliment carries weight. Prates didn't hesitate to respond. He reposted the story with a heart emoji and wrote, "My idol, it's a small moment, but one that speaks volumes. Despite the loss, Prates stood toe-to-toe with a top prospect. And now he's got one of the greatest strikers of all time giving him props." That kind of shout-out from Izzy can boost your stock, especially when you're still building your name in a stacked division. Prates may have come up short on the scorecards, but in terms of respect, he walked away with a W. That's it for today's fight news. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your take, and we'll catch you next time right here.